I'm back and I'm going to review the mainline Age of Extinction Deluxe Class Drift. I think it's Age of Extinction, but I'll let you guys know if I'm wrong during editing. This guy was also repackaged and repainted for Studio Series. The issue is, the Studio Series figures are meant to be the definitive mainline figures. I will check this guy out and see if it is deserving of that title. And I am aware that there is a helicopter version of this drift, and I do want it. I just can't find it anymore, it's too late, I missed my chance. So let's pack this up, and in order to do so, I will do a really cool transition in post-editing. Guys, look at what just happened. TF fan page, subscribe to me. No way. So yeah, if you're watching this, just know that I'm a big fan. So yeah, let's get back to the video. So here we have Drift in his robot mode, and first impressions, I really like the coloring. Maybe that's just cause my favorite color is blue. It's very nice. It has a nice deep blue with this really nice metallic light blue on it. I think that's very cool. Really good head sculpt. I like it a lot. Really nice gold paints. Very nice. I really like the blues. Very cool. This metallic blue is also here, which I think is very cool. A very cool design choice. It adds a lot to the figure. He has light piping. Don't know if you can see it, but yeah, you can see his eyes glow blue. I do sort of wish that he had more paint. I do like the paint. I just wish there was more, or maybe more gold throughout the whole body, because only his head is gold. I do wish that his arms and his lower legs were painted in, because they are a bit bare. This figure does sort of look very plain in comparison to what we have now, and even in comparison to some mainline figures back in the day alongside this guy. I will have a picture of the Studio Series version, just right here, just so you can compare the coloration. I think I like this color scheme more, just because I like blue. Sculpting is very cool as well. You can see very detailed. Again, would have been a lot better if it was picked out, but you can see the sculpt is very nice actually. Before we move on, you might notice that he does feel like he's missing something, and he is missing these two small swords. He can hold them, but that does look sort of small in his hand. I think the best way to display these is to plug it into his backpack, where there are two ports right there, and they just plug in like so. It adds more of the gold color that I like. So yeah, this just makes him look complete. He also has these two, which are the proper ones. These look a lot better in hand, but unfortunately they have no place to store. They can only store in vehicle mode. So what I do is I just put them in the backpack like this. As you can see, top view, I just put them in there. It is wobbly, but it is the best that I could do. Being a deluxe class from before Studio Series, this guy's posability is very bad. What this guy has is a ball joint on the head, so there is a lot of movements. He can do a full rotation. His arms can rotate all the way, can go out that far. There is a swivel above the elbow. No wrist swivel, but the wrist can go in and out. Elbow bend, 90 degrees. No waist swivel, the legs can kick out this far, can kick back. Not much because of the backpack. Can go out like that. Swivel in the upper thigh. No knee joint. If there is a knee joint, but it is hampered by the car. Oh, there, sorry. If you move this out of the way, you can get a knee joint, you can get a 90-degree knee bend, and toe up, toe down, and that's it. So, posability is terrible. It is the worst posing figure in my entire collection. Arms are okay, actually. Very good posability in the arms, which makes for really nice sword holding poses. But the legs are basically useless. They also included a ratchet joint for some reason on this guy. On this guy of all the figures, they put a ratchet joint on him. It's only the outwards leg, if you can hear it. The lack of any foot posability is really terrible. It makes it really hard to get him into good poses, because the feet really makes him want to fall over. But I do admit he does look good. Speaking of looks, I'm not really that picky, to be honest. I'm not a picky type of person when it comes to Transformers. But objectively speaking, he is very weirdly proportioned. If you hide the backpack, he has thick legs, thin arms, and thin waist. He does look sort of weird proportionally, but I don't mind because the backpack does sort of make you forget about the thin waist. These really nice samurai guards really make you forget about the thin arms as well. But you can really see it. It's really exaggerated if you remove these two. He looks like a skeleton. Look at him. If you look at it as a whole and from afar, you don't really notice it in my opinion. Let's talk about Kibble. His backpack is pretty big, pretty wide as well, pretty long. As expected from movie mainline figures, the engineering wasn't really that great and they didn't even do anything with this. I do wish they could have done this backpack justice. Like, it's pretty bad. Doesn't make him back heavy, so at least that's a positive. And he does have quite annoying leg kibble, where this panel does hamper knee movement by a lot. He does sort of have an obstructive backpack in combination with the poor foot articulation makes him very difficult to pose. So far it is not looking like this guy deserves to be in Studio Series, to be honest. So let's get some size comparisons. Here is Drift with an actual Studio Series Deluxe and a mainline Deluxe from around the same time. And here is Drift with a Core Class figure and a Voyager figure. So Drift is just your standard Deluxe class size. I have no comments about it because back then all Deluxes were the same size. So robot mode, I do like the look of it. My favorite parts about it are the shoulder guards, but that's really all. The posability, the lack of paints, the kibble really bring this guy down. So let's hope that the transformation and the vehicle mode is better. So transformation was very simple. It's pretty easy. All the steps were expected. Nothing new, nothing interesting. As expected of mainline deluxe classes, pretty boring to be honest. It is a bit fiddly. Sometimes I get it perfect in the first try, but most of the time, like this attempt that you're seeing, it is fiddly. It is very fiddly. I really struggle to get these shoulder pieces tabbed into place, like tabbed into the front of the car.
I like the color.
You like the color? People said they don't like it, and I said, well, what color is your guy?
It's blue, and it is very nice. This is definitely the better mode out of the two. Very nice blue paint again. I like how this red bit's picked out. That's very cool. The headlights are picked out. I like this blue that continues throughout the entire car mode. Very nice. Even the hubcaps are picked out in silver. The back, very cool as well. I don't really like this spoiler though. It is way too short in my opinion. They should have committed and went all the way out, or just not have one at all. I think this sort of middle ground does look very weird. And even though I do like the paint, I wish there was more, like especially at the top. It is very plain. But other than that, very nice colors. And very nice sculpt beside the spoiler. Very nice all mode. Really have no issues with this guy. Very good. He does roll very well. One of the better rolling ones. Rolls very good. So playability of this guy is very high. Very nice car mode, I think. I said it so many times, but it's true. I think it's a very nice car mode. So we'll get into some size comparisons now. Here is Drift with Jolts, Strafe, Mohawk, and Galvatron. Before we get to the conclusion, I will talk about the weapon storage. So as you saw during the transformation, the smaller swords do fit into this car, into the roof, which I think is a very good decision. You can see it through the clear windshield. That is very nice. I wish more figures did that. The longer swords fit into these two ports right there. So really nice weapon storage for this guy. Does not affect anything at all. So in conclusion, the robot mode is definitely the worst mode, no questions. Very disappointing. It does look good, but as a whole, it's bad. Bad posability, bad kibble, not enough paint. Transformation is bad as well. Very simple, and even though it's simple, it's fiddly most of the time. I don't enjoy this transformation at all. Vehicle mode is good. It looks so cool. Wish it was more painted. Wish the spoiler was better or removed entirely. Really nice weapon storage. Very good vehicle mode. So, does this guy deserve to be in Studio Series? I don't really think so. Even though I think the vehicle mode is Studio Series worthy, but literally everything else does not deserve Studio Series status. So I don't know what Hasbro was doing when repackaging this guy. They should have just made a new mold for him. If you want drift, just get the helicopter one. I wouldn't get this guy.